What's going on, people, and welcome to my top 10 Premier League all-time wingers. Now, before I get into it, I do have a target. By the 1st of June, I want 2,000 subscribers, and I can only do that with your guys' support and liking the videos and sharing them. So that is the target, 1st of June, 2,000 subscribers. I'm on about 1,000 and nearly 800, so I'm very close, and I'd like to get there for June the 1st. That's my target, and just to build the channel and grow it, and that's my plan. So, but I can only do it with your support. So by the 1st of June, 2,000 subscribers. Let's get on this road to 2,000 and help me, support me in that, and I'll keep bringing you the football content. So that is the plan. Let's get into the top 10 wingers Premier League all time, my own. Let's go. Number 10, a guy that played in the Invincibles team, and one that's underrated for me, doesn't get spoken about enough, and that's Freddie Ljungberg. Obviously, had Pires on the other side at that time, Henry up top, but Ljungberg scored some vital goals in crucial matches at vital times, and I don't think he gets the recognition that he should, because he was a clutch player. So Ljungberg would be in at number 10 for me. Number 9, one that I missed a lot of his playing time, but I sort of caught the end of it, and stuff I've heard about him, like, he's one of the best wingers that the Premier League's ever seen, just naturally. And I have seen little clips of him, so I had to include him. From the bits, even the little bits I've seen of him, he looked quality, and that is Overmars. On the left for Arsenal in the 90s, pace for days, technique for days, and he could score as well. Caused defenders problems all the time, and yeah, he had to be included in this list. A Dutch legend, and another one that doesn't really get spoken about a whole lot, so I wanted to include him in mine. So Overmars is at number 9. Number 8, Raheem Sterling. Still currently playing, obviously, and in the Euros he really surprised me. I thought he was our player of the tournament in the Euros, and one of our crucial clutch players, similar to Ljungberg was at Arsenal in certain games. Sterling did that in the Euros for us, for England, but obviously he's won the Premier League with Man City. Pep's definitely improved him, I think. Even when he was at Liverpool and he didn't win nothing with Liverpool in terms of the league and that, he was very lively and even was important to them nearly winning the league. He was a vital part in that as well, and I feel that he has rounded his game more. He's starting to get back into the City team. He'd been out for a while, but this season he has been coming in recently again. Pace galore, more of an old-fashioned winger, can cut in and score as well though, and I think he improved his finishing a whole lot more than people give him credit for, and also his strength on the ball. For someone his size, I think he is deceptively strong. So Sterling has to make this list, and he's in at number 8. Number 7, Robert Pires, a player that I miss watching a lot, especially his partnership and chemistry with Henry in the Invincible days. A cultured left foot, cultured dribbler. Didn't ever have a lot of pace, but he was very clever with his thought process and knowing what he was going to do before he got the ball. And that chemistry and link up with Henry was just, even as a Manchester United supporter, I could only applaud it and admire it at the same time. So Pires is at number 7. Number 6, Ryan Giggs. Arguably could be lower just because of how long he played for. Not a lot of players get to play that long and be involved in that many trophies that he won, and Champions League, league titles, FA Cups, or everything, you know what I mean? He pretty much won everything. Had to be included. He wasn't the trickiest player, but he was skillful in his dribbling. He's one of the best dribblers I've seen. Not in terms of tricks, but just the subtle little movements and little weaves past people, and people couldn't stop him when he was doing that. Even if they knew what he was going to do, they couldn't stop it. And then he changed his game later on in his career and switched positions. So only quality players can do that. Off the field stuff recently is probably putting people off him, and it did me, to be honest. But in terms of just a footballing ability and what he did on the field, he's got to be up there, a legend in that sense. So Ryan Giggs, number 6. Alexis Sanchez comes in at number 5. For his time at Arsenal, I mean, he was a shocking player at United. I was excited when we signed him, and it just didn't work out. But for a few years at Arsenal, he was the man, and he was destroying teams single-handedly, carrying Arsenal at the time. And I don't know what happened, like certain players don't suit certain teams, and it didn't work out at United. But his time at Arsenal, he was one of them players that you could not take your eyes off of. And he did all right at Barcelona before that as well. So I think Sanchez deserves a mention, even if it wasn't for as long as some of the other players on this list, in terms of how long he was here. And he has to be in this list for me for the few seasons he did. It was at such a high level. So Alexis Sanchez is in at number 5. Number 4, Eden Hazard. A league winner with Chelsea, but he did things on the ball that not a lot of players have done that I've seen, at speeds at which you're like, that's hard enough to do at a slower speed, but he was doing it at super fast speed as well. And he, similar to Sanchez, would be one of them players in person that you'd have to stand up and get off your seat watching that when he's going down a wing and cutting in and doing all sorts of tricks and then finishing as well at the end of it. He had end product. Similar to Sanchez at United, since he's gone to Madrid, it's not worked out for whatever reason. But again, his time in the English league with Chelsea, you can't fault it. Quality player, and I'm sad that he left, because it hasn't gone well for him since he left. But the time that he had over here has blessed us with a lot of memories of just quality play, especially as a neutral fan as well. He's one of them players that I'd love to watch, even though they're not for your team. So Eden Hazard in at number 4. In at number 3, Riyad Mahrez. He's so low down on the list because he won the league with Leicester, with that squad they had. They got him for less than £1 million. I think it was like 300,000 or something they paid for him. I mean, what a bargain. Because of what he's gone on to do. He's won leagues with Man City. I think he's got 2 with City and 1 with Leicester. He's obviously their go-to guy for Algeria as well. But he's like a ballerina on the ball, and I don't mean that in a bad sense. The speed at which he operates on the wing, the trickery, and he can score goals. But winning the league with Leicester and being such a vital part of that team at the time, then getting the move to City, and the fact that Leicester paid less than £1 million for him, now you're going to be paying no less than probably, what are we saying, maybe 70 to 80 million for him, possibly. A bargain. So Mahrez, for what he's done and just coming out of nowhere, he has to be this low down on the list, and he's still currently playing, so he could win a lot more trophies yet. So Mahrez is in at number 3. Now it comes down to the top 2. In at number 2, David Beckham. He was a hero of mine growing up. I used to try and copy his free kicks and that. I even bought a pair of his boots at one point. But he was bigger than football, but he was one of my earliest memories of a football player that I liked. Clutch. If you're talking about clutch, the guy turned up all the time, whether it was for England or Manchester United. A leader on the field. He could be a captain even without being a... He could shout about. I've seen him do it, but he wasn't a sort of Roy Keane shouter. But he would lead by example in terms of just his performances on the pitch. Work rate unmatchable, I think, for England as well. The quality, though, like on the ball, talk about a specialist. Crossing the ball and passing, pinging balls, crossing balls, free kicks. The best I've ever seen, possibly, other than maybe Roberto Carlos. Unbelievable player. And he's one of them ones that you never want to retire, or I certainly didn't. Especially for England as well, because he was clutch. Bouncing back from the 98 stuff against Argentina in the World Cup as well. He had that mindset and tough mentality as well to get through hard times and bounce back. And go on to do even more after all that as well. That free kick against Greece. Do you know what I mean? It's just, some of the stuff he done is crazy. And he was a hero of mine growing up, so he's got to be this low down on the list. So David Beckham is in, and he's at number 2. And at number 1, who else but the man himself, Cristiano Ronaldo. Obviously now he's more of a striker, but at the time in his first stint at United, he was a winger. Coming as a skinny teenager, developed, grew into himself, come back stronger, bounced back from all that winking stuff in the against Rooney, and won the fans back after that. went on to win even more stuff with United. And I feel sorry for him now with United currently, what's going on at the club. But when we first had him, and the growth he showed, the mindset at such a young age, the mentality which he's carried on to this day, unmatchable. His records, his scoring records, the Ballon d'Ors, and the man is not human. Like, he doesn't seem to be human in the numbers he's putting up. And when he retires, it's going to be a very sad day, because him and Messi, I don't think we might not ever see anyone at that sort of level again. So for me, in terms of wingers and the numbers he put up, especially just in terms of goal scoring for a winger, it was like he was up front back then because of the amount of goals he would get. And another one that was clutch, and another one that weren't scared to fail. And if he did, he'd bounce back twice as strong. So Cristiano Ronaldo makes the list, and he is number 1 for my all-time Premier League wingers. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. I'll be back soon. I'm going to do a midfielders one and a centre-back one. Let me know which one you would like first, and I'll get that to you. But let me know your list in the comments, guys, and your order of who you would go with. And I might even do some underrated ones and stuff like that. So let me know your thoughts and what sort of top 10s you'd like to see in regards to football. And I'll get them to you guys. But let me know in the comments. Remember, 1st of June, the goal is 2,000 subscribers. I can only do it with your support and your help, guys, sharing the videos, liking the videos. I'll speak to you guys soon.